Deep in the Arctic twilight, a sharp wedge of concrete cuts into the side of a frozen mountain. This is not a building, it is a seal. A strange turquoise light glows from its entrance, a silent warning in the endless ice. This place is known as the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, but insiders call it something else, the Eternity Chamber. The first line of defense is not a wall, but the world itself. The vault is on Svalbard, a group of islands of bitter cold and deep quiet. By law, no army can be here. This land is a planned quarantine zone, a place kept empty on purpose. There are more polar bears here than people. We are told this place is a library for seeds, a backup plan for our farms in case something bad happens to our food. But the security here is stronger than for almost any place on Earth. It makes you ask a quiet, cold question. Why build a fortress this strong just for seeds? The name Eternity Chamber is not used on any official map. It is a name whispered by those who know its deeper secret, a purpose that goes far beyond farming. To get inside, you must pass through 5 heavy steel doors. Each door has its own special lock. There is no single master key that can open them all. To unlock the path, you need secret codes and real keys, held by different groups of people in different countries, all working at the same time. The chamber's greatest shield was meant to be the mountain itself. The frozen ground, called permafrost, was supposed to stay frozen forever, keeping everything inside safe and cold. But in 2017, something went wrong. The ice began to melt, and water flooded the entrance tunnel. The eternal fortress had been breached by the one thing it was built to trust: nature. But the mountain itself is failing. The permafrost, the frozen ground meant to be its eternal guard, is melting. Water has breached the outer entrance before. This fortress of nature is compromised, forcing those in control to rely on something far more dangerous. Beyond the main doors, a 130-meter tunnel cuts deep into the mountain. This passage is not a hallway. It is a weapon. It is lined with sensors that feel the slightest vibration, that see the smallest movement, that measure every change in the air. An unauthorized entry does not trigger a loud alarm for the world to hear. It triggers a final, silent protocol. Vents hidden in the ceiling are not for air. They are designed to flash freeze the entire tunnel, turning it into a cryogenic tomb for anyone caught inside. Those who manage to pass through this frozen trap will find the vault chambers. Here, the air is kept at a constant, deep cold. The silence is absolute. It is a place built for the end of time, holding the keys to a new beginning. But the list of who holds those keys is a warning. North Korea, the United States, Russia, Syria. Nations who are enemies everywhere else on Earth are partners here, inside this mountain. This is not about trust. It is a form of promise, a guarantee that no matter what happens between them, a piece of their homeland can be reborn. The chamber is a geopolitical dead man's switch, ensuring that even in total war, no one can truly erase another from the earth. We have learned that not all the seeds stored here are simple backups. Hidden in the records are notes about sentinel packages. These are different. They are not just for replanting a world that was lost. They are tools to understand how it was lost. These are seeds and tiny life forms changed by science. They are designed to react to certain dangers, like a specific poison in the air, or a sickness that has no name. They are a final message from the past. These sentinel samples would tell future survivors what ended our time. They are a post-mortem for humanity, a quiet record of our final mistakes, waiting to be read in the ruins of our world. And here, we find the most protected secret. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is a name to hide the truth. The Eternity Chamber protects much more than plants. Leaked papers and quiet words from insiders speak of frozen tubes. They hold the building blocks of fungi, of bacteria, and of life forms that have long vanished from the earth. Inside the Eternity Chamber, there is more than just a library of seeds. There are digital archives, records of human knowledge, culture, and science stored on materials designed to last for thousands of years. But there are also other files, data so sensitive, its existence is denied. These are the forbidden archives. They contain the genetic codes for viruses and blights that have been erased from the world. They hold the blueprints for biological weapons, locked away as a final, desperate reference. To possess this knowledge is to hold the power to end life as we know it. This raises a chilling question. Why build such a fortress? The chamber was not designed to survive a nuclear winter. It was not built to withstand the impact of an asteroid. Its purpose is far more specific. It was created to counteract a silent, biological war. A man-made disease, a genetically engineered blight designed to attack the world's most important crops, a weapon that could starve nations into surrender without firing a single shot. The chamber is our last defense against an empty plate. The true guardians of this place are not just the Norwegian government. Control is held by a silent international group. Their names and their countries are a closely guarded secret. They operate in the shadows, making decisions that affect all of humanity. Information about the Vault's daily work is broken into small pieces. No one person is ever told the full story. This is a deliberate void of knowledge. The secrets are protected by keeping the protectors themselves in the dark. But what happens if the chamber itself is attacked? What is the final security measure if all the doors are breached and the guards have failed? There is no self-destruct button. The final plan is much more permanent. It is called the Deep Burial Protocol. A final, chilling act to ensure the chamber's most dangerous secrets are never released. It is a plan to erase the vault from the world forever. Deep inside the mountain's foundation, powerful charges are hidden. They are not meant to explode outwards. They are designed to trigger a controlled collapse, bringing the mountain down upon itself. This would seal the inner vault under millions of tons of rock and ice. The Eternity Chamber would become a tomb. Its entrance, its secrets, and its terrible potential would be buried so deep no one could ever reach them again. This deep burial protocol is not a last resort. It is the Vault's intended final act. The plan was never just to save the seeds, but to entomb them if humanity proved unworthy of their future. Access is forbidden because the chamber is designed to become a permanent grave for its contents, sealed by rock and ice, forever beyond our reach. The question we must ask is why? Why build a library of life only to plan for its permanent destruction? The answer is a chilling one. The Vault is not just a safeguard. It is a potential weapon. If its genetic codes fell into the wrong hands, they could be used not to rebuild the world, but to control it. This final security measure is not a single button. It is a complex sequence of actions, a key turned in multiple locations around the world by people who do not know each other. It is a lock designed to fail shut, ensuring that panic or greed can never open this door. The system is built to protect the seeds from us. And inside, there is evidence of something more than just seeds. Classified inventories speak of special collections. Vials stored at even colder temperatures. These are not plants. They are ancient microbes, frozen bacteria, and dormant viruses pulled from the melting ice. A library of plagues preserved for study. The consequence of a breach here is not just theft. It is apocalypse. A single mistake, a crack in a vial, could release a sickness the world has no defense against. A disease from a time before humans, waiting silently in the cold. This is why the air itself inside the vault is guarded. These dangerous samples were placed here with a specific purpose. If an ancient disease were to re-emerge from the melting ice somewhere else in the world, scientists would need a pure sample to study, a way to understand the enemy. The vault holds both the memory of life and the tools of its potential end. This makes the Eternity Chamber more than a scientific project. It is a piece in a global game of power. The nations that contribute to the vault, the ones who hold the keys to its data, hold the future of the food supply. Control over who eats and who starves after a global disaster. A secret council, known only as the Guardians, oversees these geopolitical risks. They are not scientists, but strategists from powerful nations. Their meetings are not recorded. Their decisions are absolute. They weigh the survival of the planet against the interests of their own countries. And they hold one last, unspoken power. A final protocol known only as the Sundown Directive. This command would not destroy the vault, but erase it. All digital records of its location, all maps, all access codes would be wiped clean. The vault would become a myth, lost in the Arctic ice. The most terrifying secret is not what lies inside the vault, but how close we have come to losing it forever. How many times have the Guardians considered turning the key, not to open the door, but to make it disappear, to hide the future from a present that has grown too dangerous?